How's it going, everybody? I'm the big guy. Usually I start off with blaring music. Shout out to Behind the Line from Tiger's Blood. But this week it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel smart to do it. So, let's be honest. This week in wrestling has kind of sucked. The news this week, let's start off first. Vince McMahon stepping down from WWE as its CEO. He's still in charge of creative. He has stepped down for reasons outside the company. I am not going to go into it. Those are personal reasons. Even though the news has made it to be everyone knows why. I'm not covering that. I've made a statement that I will not cover stuff like that in the future. So I'm trying not to cover this. We also have another story that's apparently big news. Sasha Banks has apparently been released from WWE. That's a shocker, came out of left field. I mean, I know she was still battling everything with the walking out like CM Punk did. And if it's true, I wish her nothing but the best in everything she does in the future. She's one of the best women wrestlers in the world. Maybe ever. I mean, we are in a renaissance of women's wrestling, so bravo to Sasha Banks for standing up for what she believes in, if that's truly what's going on here. If it is, bravo to her, and I wish her nothing but the best. And the rest of the news this week, this one is sad. Dave Hebner and Tim White have passed away. Dave Hebner was a referee for WWE, and Tim White has had an amazing career as a referee. He was helping with merch sales, and he was also more well known as being one of the travel people, and also just one of the best friends of Andre the Giant. Dave, I hope you're partying up there with all the wrestlers who you gave a fair call to in the match. And Tim, I hope and I know that you're back with Andre again. So this is not a sad thing. It's I live by the line, death is only the beginning. So I hope that wherever they are, they've found peace and they get to be with all their buddies again. So for them, please join me in a moment of silence, and we are going to do a 10-bell salute. The gods got a couple good ones this week. I've never heard anything bad about their characters. I've only heard what great people they were. So may they rest in peace. Now let's get on with the show and let's move on to some good things. Wrestling has been awesome in the ring this week. Smackdown, from Smackdown to AEW to Impact, everyone stepped up this week for wrestling. It was the stories outside the ring. They were not going to let it be dominated by what was going on outside the ring. So let's kick it off with the Smackdown review. As Smackdown kicked off with the chairman himself, I guess ex-CEO, ex-chairman Vince McMahon. He simply just came out and said, he thanked the fans, and he just said, then, now, forever, together. And the most important line was together. He then welcomed everybody to SmackDown, threw the mic out, and then left. And that's how you kick off SmackDown, man. I know with his problems outside the ring, I don't know what to think, but God, this could be... If this is what they're planning for Vince McMahon just be on TV every week, I don't know if that's a smart move to go with, but what the fuck. Let's never accuse WWE of being smart. You know? Riddle then came out and cut a promo that showed footage with the Undisputed Champion Roman Reigns, who he will face for the title later on that night. Riddle then said Randy had a big surgery coming up and he's going to be out of action with the back injury. He doesn't know how long he's going to be there, but he is going to smoke Roman Reigns' ass. So I love this Riddle. I love that he isn't afraid to cut out the bullshit and just be like, you know what? I'm just here to perform. I'm not here for the laughs. I'm just here to fight. God damn it. And I love that. I like this Riddle. This is awesome. I love it. We then got Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin in the last laugh match. A very good match from these two. I actually enjoyed this. Very fun. Amazing performance from the two. They have some good chemistry that I didn't see coming when they really started this feud. I was not looking forward to it, but they performed their asses off. So bravo. Bravo. After the Happy Corbin would end up losing the match after Madcap will hit the punchline. I really hope they get away from the laughing gimmick and give him something really strong. Like, hell, the last laugh match, that would actually be a great finishing move name. The last laugh. Like, maybe give him a Joker gimmick like Sting had. For those of you who didn't know, Slammiversary was also this weekend. Yes, I did watch it. Very good wrestling. Very good moments. I'm not usually an Impact fan, but they performed well this week, so I gotta give them credit where credit's due. Sting came out and actually said one of the best moments of his career was Joker Sting, so maybe they give Madcap Moss a little bit of Joker gimmick. I would actually really like that. Anyway, after the match, Madcap went up the ramp, and Baron Corbin grabbed a mic and talked shit to Pat McAfee. The talk is, maybe this will lead to a SummerSlam match between Pat McAfee and Baron Corbin. I would like to see that. I would love to see Baron Corbin just be Baron Corbin again, by the way. Just go back to the Lone Wolf. I missed that. I liked it. I didn't like it at the time because, you know, it takes, when I was first started watching, I didn't understand the heel gimmicks. But now that I look back, I'm like, oh my god, that was awesome. Baron Corbin was a great heel. He was a good Miz. And if they do it right and find the gimmick that really sticks, which I think it's the Lone Wolf gimmick, I really do. If they find that and sticks, he could be the next Miz, honestly. So I really hope we're getting a Pat McAfee Corbin feud. I would love to see that. After this, the Street Profits cut a promo from backstage where they challenged the Usos to a match at Money in the Bank. So I doubt we're going to get a title change there, but it'd be nice to see. By the way, shout out to Montez Ford, who looks like he's been nailing it in the gym, man. Got those biceps looking like he's fucking Hulk Hogan, you know? I really love that. I think it's awesome to see him like this. After this, Natalya came out and said she will defeat SmackDown Women's Champion Ronda Rousey at Money in the Bank and become the first person to make the WWE SmackDown Women's Champion tap out. Which, actually, if you do think about it, yeah, she's never tapped out in WWE. She's always been pinned. I would love to see that. After this, we got the New Day versus Gender Mahal and Shanky in a match. This match was weird, to say the least. Like, I guess they're giving Shanky a gimmick to where whenever he hears music, it's not his fault. He has to dance. Because the way him and Jinder Mahal lost this match is because Shanky heard Woods playing the trombone and had to start dancing. So I don't know what that means, but it's kind of cool. At the same time, weird. We then got Adam Pearce announcing who will go in for Money in the Bank, whether it is Drew McIntyre or Sheamus who will go in the Money in the Bank ladder match, as Seth Rollins is already qualified. He then announced it will be Sheamus competing in Money in the Bank, and Drew McIntyre started beating the shit out of Sheamus, throwing him outside the ring. But then he said the next words out of my mouth are, Drew McIntyre is also in Money in the Bank, so I love it. I think it's awesome. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus in Money in the Bank. I'm actually very happy about this because these two have amazing chemistry, and we'll definitely add something in Money in the Bank ladder match. We then got announced that the Viking Raiders will return next week on Smackdown, which will be this Friday. Excited to see that. Excited to see that the Viking Raiders will be coming back. I just hope it isn't with the comedy gimmick. Just make them the fighters of the tag team division, you know? You unified the titles, now you got something to really fight for, and you just let the tag teams fight, because there aren't that many tag teams. I mean, you think about it, you got the Street Profits. When they're together, you got RK Bro, you got the Viking Raiders, the Usos, Los Lotharios, Alpha Academy. And that's pretty much it. Huh. Oh, maybe the Brawling Brutes. Maybe they're a team, but they've never really gone for a tag team title, so I could see them maybe, but yeah, not a really big division. So this is where having unified titles really helps. After this, we got Raquel Rodriguez versus Shayna Basler, and the winner will qualify for the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Raquel Rodriguez was able to defeat Shayna Basler in a very well-fought match. Two very good performers. I'm not shocked that this was a very good match. So Raquel Rodriguez is in the Money in the Bank ladder match. We then got Max Dupree saying he wasn't happy with the lights provided for him in the ring to reveal his first client of Maximum Male Models. He complained to Adam Pearce, and we never got the debut of his new male model. I like this because it gave them time for, one, this next segment in which Kaiser was being interviewed backstage with Gunther about the Intercontinental Championship, and he said, "An American will never be Intercontinental Champion again, and the champion championship has lost its prestige, but now that it's with Gunther, it has received the prestige because it is with the Ring General." And then finally, this is why also I was very happy we didn't get the Max Dupree model, because it left time for the main event. Riddle and Roman Reigns, had an amazing match for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Amazing RKOs, the Bro Derek, everything, spear out midair. Unbelievable. Great match. Roman Reigns hits a spear out of midair to finally put Riddle down. False finishes. Riddle kicked out of a spear. Oh, great match. Roman Reigns retains. And as he's saying there's no one left, he tells everybody to acknowledge him, and the bloodline is leaving. And as they leave, dun 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 dun, Brock Lesnar's music hits. The Beast Incarnate is back. I was shocked by this. Now, a lot of people are getting on them for having to redo this feud once again. Everyone else is hurt. They have to have names in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Drew McIntyre has already said he will face Roman Reigns at the Clash in the Castle. So what? So who's left? Seth Rollins needs to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match for the name's sake. You have Sheamus in Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes is hurt. Randy Orton's hurt. They just had the Riddle match. Who else is left for him to fight? You're not just going to pull someone up from the mid-card to main event SummerSlam. You can't. Maybe Shinsuke Nakamura. Maybe. But Brock Lesnar came out, hit the F5. 1, 2, 3, hit another F5 on the Usos. And it was announced the main event of SummerSlam, if Roman Reigns is still the champion, will be Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar in a last man standing match. I love this. And people are giving it shit because they're saying, oh, the last match sucked. You mean the match where Roman perform with his arm out of its socket? Dude, that's a hard match to perform. I get people being mad at the WrestleMania 34 match. I get that. I kind of understand people being mad at SummerSlam 2018. Was it 2018? I get that. It wasn't the best match, but it was still a good match. WrestleMania 31? Very good match. I liked that match. Seth Rollins cashing in made it an all-time classic match. But that's because you had someone else. But I could see this match being very, very, very good because it is last man standing. You're taking everything away. They have to fight. Whether they are injured, whether there's a leg missing, they will fight and someone will not be able to stand after this match. That's what I love about it. It's the finality to it. Hey, last man standing, it's over. Whoever wins this is it. Roman Reigns wins, he's one of the best ever. Brock Lesnar wins, he cements his place amongst the all-time greats. It's a fight. That's what I love about it. This is going to be a brawl and a half. That's why I'm excited for SummerSlam. Let's move on to Raw. As Raw kicked off with Bianca Belair revealing Rhea Ripley is out of Money in the Bank. She will not be medically cleared. I do not know why. I have not heard why. There has not been a lot of news. People were shocked by this. So what we have a fatal 5-way match between Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. Very good match, and you know what? The right person won this match as Carmella picked up the pin over Liv Morgan after a very hard-fought match. I completely agree with this finish. You don't want to take out Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan from the Money in the Bank. It really adds star power. It really figures it out. Asuka and Lynch are set for the main event of Raw. Yeah, I think both in the Money in the Bank ladder match makes sense. And that way they can keep up their feud. Carmella was the only one who I was looking at as like, I don't see her as Money in the Bank this year. I don't see her in the ladder match. I see her doing something else, but I don't see her in that ladder match. I think it would be... when she won the match, I think this is the smartest move WWE can make. Because they really thought they had a few going in for SummerSlam last year between these two. When Sasha Banks, I believe, had COVID or something. I don't remember. But they ended up pulling the trigger on the Becky Lynch return and heel turn. So, Carmella and Bianca Belair make sense for Money in the Bank. That's why I think. It makes sense at the time. After this, we got Vince McMahon coming out, hyping up John Cena's return next week on Raw. When he got out of the ring, by the way, Vince McMahon said that John Cena is one of the best performers to ever lace up a pair of boots and perform on Raw. I was watching this, and I honestly thought, wait, Vince McMahon got out of the ring. I'm like, God damn it, he tore his quad again, did he? And then the motherfucker had the balls, the glorified balls, to jump off the ring steps. Someone got a good picture of it on Twitter. If you can find it, go look at it. It's amazing. Bravo to Vince McMahon. You know, again, all this shit going down, he is still being Vince. I like that. I like he's still just saying, alright, I'm just going to be me. Whatever happens, happens. I'm going to let them know that that the last thing they remember of me is me. So, can't blame them on that one. After this, we got Almost versus Riddle to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Almost was able to defeat Riddle, and the Nigerian Giant is now in the Money in the Bank ladder match. After the match, though, Seth Rollins attacked Riddle. Rollins claims that Roman Reigns been ducking him ever since the Royal Rumble 2020. But after he wins the Royal Rumble, he won't be able to duck him anymore. And Roman Reigns will have to face little Seth Rollins once again, because he has never won against Seth Rollins. Don't forget that. Roman Reigns has never beaten Seth Rollins. That's a very cool little fact that I could really think of. After this, Bobby Lashley got his payback on the United States Champion Theory as Theory was going out for a little pose down. He beat the shit out of Theory, squirted him in the face with baby oil, and took the spear. He then speared him. Very fun, very little good match. That would lead to later in the night. I'll talk about that later. Angela Dawkins and Jey Uso have a very nice match. Angela Dawkins picking up the win over Jey Uso to really send the crowd home with a smile. I'm really happy for Angela Dawkins and Montez Ford. I don't want them to split them up, but I feel if they were to split them up, both of these guys could go on to be successful singles participants. I really feel these guys could be good single participants. Just my opinion. After this, we got a video with Elias and Ezekiel in the same room. I don't know how they pulled off the Elias look on Ezekiel again, because Ezekiel's clean shaven, dude. That beard looked real. I mean, it looked as real as my beard. So, I don't know how they did it, but fucking hey, thumbs up to WWE's makeup department for that. We then got Elias performing his little concert. Everybody was so happy to see him. Kevin Owens comes out and says, "Oh no, you're Ezekiel. You're Ezekiel. I can't take this anymore." We then got Elias hitting Kevin Owens in the back with a guitar. And Kevin Owens limps backstage holding the back of his head. He's Ezekiel. He's Ezekiel. They're the same person. They're the same person. Kevin Owens is losing it. I like this, that Kevin Owens is just crazy. I like that. He then challenged Ezekiel or Elias, or maybe their younger brother, Elderon, to a match, which I loved. And Kevin Owens just stopped out top of his head. You can completely see he's just like, "Oh, no, Elderon." I thought that was hilarious. And he challenged one of them to a match. Whoever wants to show up. Ezekiel then came out backstage and said, "I accept." I guess they're different people. I don't know, but it's funny as fuck. After this, we got a gauntlet match to decide who will face Austin Theory at Money in the Bank for the United States Championship. Bobby Lashley was able to defeat Chad Gable. And then he was able to defeat Otis via DQ after Chad Gable got involved. And then finally, we got Bobby Lashley versus Theory. And Bobby Lashley was able to pick up the win. He has earned a shot at the United States title at Money in the Bank. So it's Theory versus Lashley at Money in the Bank. I'm very happy with this. I think it's going to be a very good match. Very excited. After this, we got AJ Styles versus Champa. It's originally started at Money in the Bank on Miz TV, when AJ Styles was basically, I will say, kind of poking fun at Miz. He was basically making fun when he was just calling him shit and everything, like we always do for Miz. And AJ Styles, basically, as he was making fun of Miz, Champa attacked him. AJ Styles then beat the shit out of Champa. Hey, Ciampa's getting second main event status, so I'm actually very happy for Champa here. Very good job on Champa for putting on a great match with AJ Styles. Don't get me wrong, he's basically in the ring with a general, so it's hard for him not to have a great match here, but AJ Styles and Champa have a great match. AJ Styles picks up the win. After the match, The Miz tried to attack AJ, but AJ took him out with a Styles glass. AJ then took Miz's glasses and posed in the ring wearing them. Who knows? Maybe when Edge returns, they'll team up with AJ Styles and we'll get a V2, a version 2 of the 5-second pose with him and Styles. I think that would be hilarious. We then got a promo with Veer Mahan being interviewed saying he cannot be stopped and told that everyone should fear Veer. Quick promo, like it. I like that they're just having Veer just be like the Guy who doesn't need to talk, he just sits there and just does what he needs to do, which is fight. And finally, in your main event, we got two great women going at for a Money in the Bank ladder match spot. Becky Lynch and Asuka. Amazing match. Great fight. Asuka ends up picking the win up over Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch loses her shit. Becky Lynch is flipping on the outside, throwing things. My favorite part of this, by the way, I gotta say, was Jimmy was calling everything. He's like, hey, this. Becky Lynch is throwing this. And all you see is Corey Graves just cowering behind Jimmy, just like, oh, I hope she doesn't hurt me. That was the ultimate heel thing, and I loved it. Bravo to Corey Graves for that. Very funny. So Asuka is heading to Money in the Bank. This is going to be a fun Money in the Bank, man. I'm excited for this shit. Now, let's move on to a classic pay-per-view review as we do every week. Let's move on to Money in the Bank 2017. That's right. We're doing the Smackdown exclusive. The first pay-per-view exclusive Money in the Bank. And actually, I think the only exclusive this time, this pay-per-view was brand exclusive is what I'm trying to say as I get the dick out of my mouth. So, this was always weird because I really did like these brand exclusive pay-per-views. I'll be the only one to say it because it really gave everyone a chance to shine, in my opinion. You had great matches from everyone because everyone knew, okay, this might be the only time I get pay-per-view time, so I gotta show out. I really gotta make sure that everything I do is perfect. So this pay-per-view would take place in St. Louis, Missouri. Randy Orton, with an attendance of 50,392. The golden opportunity awaits was the tagline. It would kick off on the kickoff show with a match between the Hype Bros, Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder versus Epico and Primo Colon in a nice little tag team match. The Hype Bros would hit the hyperdrive to pick up the win over the Colones in a 8-minute 30 match. This would kind of be one of the last times they would ever really focus on the Colones in the tag team, in the tag team division before their releases kind of really in the summer of 2020. We then go to the main show, which kicked off with the first ever Miss Money in the Bank ladder match. So, this match lives in infamy because of the winner. The match would take place with Carmella with James Ellsworth, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, Flair, Natalya, and Tamina. A very good field. We wouldn't have Naomi in the match because she was the current SmackDown Women's Champion, and she would face Lana, I know, right? Everybody remember that? For the SmackDown Women's Championship. Very fun match. Although the ending sucked. It ended with James Ellsworth coming in the ring, flipping up the ladder, and Carmella. And as Becky Lynch lays there, Carmella is out cold as well. James Ellsworth climbs the ladder, unhooks the briefcase, and drops it to Carmella. Yeah, so James Ellsworth wins the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match? Yeah, I guess so. By the way, I also want to point out, this was a weird commentary team as it was JBL, Tom Phillips, and Byron Saxton. Very weird team, a commentary team that you very forgot about because it was before JBL left commentary and they really focused on Corey Graves as the only heel announcer in WWE. And him and Byron Saxton just didn't have the kind of, I would say, cohesiveness that Byron Saxton and Corey Graves have. So, yeah, it's always what I look at it as. It just was a weird announcing team for this. Just gotta say that. After this, we got the New Day versus the Usos, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso, versus Big E and Kofi Kingston with Xavier Woods at ringside. For the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, these would be one of the feuds that really meant amazingly to the New Day and the Usos. This would lead to the Hell in a Cell match between the Usos and the New Day, as the Usos would win by countout. The next time they would meet, it would be inside Hell in a Cell. Or actually, no, they would meet at... I'm trying to remember. Battleground next. And then they would meet at Hell in a Cell. So, yeah, I forgot about Battleground, as a lot of people do. After this, we got Naomi versus Lana in a okay match. It was as good as a Lana match could be in WWE. She is a better mouthpiece than she ever was a wrestler. We all know that, but she was an amazing manager. Just gotta say that. Naomi would win by locking in the submission on Lana. I forget what her submission is called. I think it's Glow Time or something. It kind of reminds me of the Code of Silence that Carmella did. So she would lock that in on Lana, and she would pick up the win in a 7-minute match. After this, we would get Jinder Mahal defending his WWE Championship against Randy Orton. Remember when Jinder Mahal was WWE Champion? I do, so you have to too. Yeah. It was an okay match. I got nothing bad to say about it. It would actually end with Randy Orton's father, Bob Orton, who hadn't been seen on WWE TV since his feud with The Undertaker. Which is for a reason, because Randy Orton's father actually had hepatitis and didn't tell a soul and bled on The Undertaker, which caused The Undertaker to apparently get pissed. This is the backstage story. I don't know if it's true, but it's a story. It led to The Undertaker getting pissed, and that's why we didn't see Bob Orton for so long. So, if you ever wondered why we hadn't seen Bob Orton till then, now you know. So, Jinder Mahal would be with the Singh Brothers, and the Singh Brothers would attack Bob Orton after getting thrown out from ringside. This would cause Randy Orton to go out and fight the Singh Brothers, knock him down, but as he gets back in the ring, he's so distracted. Jinder Mahal hits the Colossus. 1, 2, 3. Jinder Mahal is the winner and still WWE Champion. This would lead to that terrible Punjabi prison match at Battleground. It's a cool concept. I really do believe that, but it sucks. It just sucks whenever it's attempted. It just can't work. It just can't. No matter how many times you try, it just won't. After this, we got a filler match of Breezango, Tyler Breeze, and Fandango versus The Ascension in a 3-minute, 50-second tag team match. Again, this was a fun... This is why I loved dual brand... This is why I love single-branded pay-per-views, because you have people who... I mean, when was the last time you thought The Ascension and Breezango on a pay-per-view? You never thought that. So I gotta give credit where credit's due to these single-branded pay-per-views. I always loved that about them. Breezango would pick up the win over The Ascension. Very fun little match. It would actually lead to a really big storyline going on of the re-debut of the Bludgeon Brothers, which were Harper and Rowan. Rest in peace to the big man. So, very fun little match. I enjoyed it. And now we move on to the main event. Money in the Bank ladder match. The last time you would see the blue briefcase. This is one thing I really miss. I loved the red and the blue briefcases. I hate the gold and the green briefcases. I think they're so stupid. Bring back the red and the blue briefcases. we got Baron Corbin, AJ Styles, Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Shinsuke Nakamura would not compete in the first half of this match because Baron Corbin would come out and attack Shinsuke from behind and would actually grab a video camera and hit Shinsuke over the head with it. They would take Shinsuke backstage. He would come back out halfway through the match. Amazing ladder moves. I mean, what do you expect? Would you expect any less from Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura, and Dolph Ziggler? Also, one thing I want to point out is that during this match, Baron Corbin would actually save Dolph Ziggler's life as Dolph was trying to move off of a ladder which was a little bit skewed. He would try to go for a drop kick on Baron Corbin. He would unfortunately miss, and Baron Corbin would catch him and actually hit the end of days. While most people saw this as a dick move, this was actually a move that would save Dolph Ziggler's life. So, bravo to Baron Corbin for being the safest worker he can be. I don't know if it saved his life, but it definitely saved him from a broken fucking neck. Anyways, after that, Baron Corbin would get a little, I would say, good karma and would win the match. He would win Mr. Money in the Bank. He would hold up the briefcase high, being Mr. Money in the Bank, and he would fail to cash in as he would enter a feud then with John Cena. He would try to cash in on Gender Mahal, but John Cena would distract him. Jinder Mahal would roll him up, and Baron Corbin would lose. And then the next Sunday would lose to John Cena at SummerSlam. So Baron Corbin, that was always a funny one, and it sucks. But who knows? Maybe Baron Corbin will move on to Money in the Bank this year and finally rectify that failed cash-in. This is a fun little pay-per-view look back at. It's nothing that I'm saying immediately, hey, go watch this. There's no match to me that really sticks out like, oh my god, what a great match. Oh, also, this would mark the return of Maria Kanellis. I almost forgot that. Maria Kanellis and Mike Kanellis would return to WWE at this point, talking about the essence of love. It would never amount to anything. They would never really do anything in WWE. They would have their couple kind of matches with Sami Zayn, and then they would fall into a 24/7 championship segment, and that would be it. You would never really see them again. They would be released in the Black Tuesday releases, and that would be it. But again, this isn't a pay-per-view that I'm really saying, oh my god, go watch this because of this match. None of these matches are 5 stars by any means, but it's still like a fun little pay-per-view. If you feel like getting in the mood for Money in the Bank coming up in next week, go watch it. Have a good time. I think you'll like it. But if you're looking for a pay-per-view to spend your Saturday watching, this isn't one of them. Gotta say that. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the WWE Drink of the Week. Continuing with the money. This drink is made with Goldschlager, and because it represents the green briefcase, the Emerald Shooter. The Emerald Shooter is a simple shot of 1 part vodka, 1 part Goldschlager, 1 part melon liqueur, which is usually Midori, let's be honest. You add the vodka, the Goldschlager, and the melon liqueur into an ice-filled shaking glass, shake, and then strain into a shot glass. Drink responsibly. Do not drink and drive. Do not drink if you are under 21 in the United States. 18 for our British folks, I believe. Or is it 16? I don't know. But do not drink and drive. Do not drink if you are under the legal age. Please drink responsibly. Do not overconsume. And that is your drink of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on to a reading from the Book of Rules. Pro tip. Don't announce your cash-in ahead of the time. Surprise matches rule. Edge. And below that, RVD wrote it worked for him. A reading from the Book of Rules. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Battle Droid of the Week. You know, such a bad week in wrestling. Let's all just find something to laugh at and just enjoy that we haven't seen in a while. So this Battle Droid is because someone was stupid or because it was just idiotic. This one is actually just, I saw it and it made me laugh. This one goes out to Cody Rhodes' mother, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Dusty Rhodes herself. A very funny little thing of Cody Rhodes sent a picture to his mom of like, hey, I tore my pec. And she watched Hell in a Cell versus Seth Rollins and she didn't believe it. She thought it was just makeup. She's like, oh, ha, good work, Cody. Apparently she didn't believe it till Brandy Rhodes sent her a picture of it. So, shout out to Cody Rhodes' mother. You are the Battle Droid of the Week. Congratulations. Here's your award.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. I've been the big guy. Hope you enjoy this week of wrestling. Again, sad stories, but amazing wrestling. I really hope that this time doesn't divide us again. I really just hope this just leads to wrestling fans just enjoying wrestling again. So, that's my hope. Again, thank you very much for listening. I've been the big guy. Have a great week in wrestling.